Hello and welcome to Readings in English. My name is Emma and I'm thrilled you've joined me. This channel is dedicated to helping you improve your English language skills through immersive storytelling. We all know that learning a language can be challenging, but it doesn't have to be boring. English, a vibrant and ever-evolving language, opens doors to countless opportunities, from connecting with people across the globe to exploring vast libraries of literature and film. But mastering English requires more than just memorizing vocabulary and grammar rules. It demands immersion, understanding the nuances of the language through context and experience. That's where captivating stories come in. Today, I'm excited to share a tale that will not only entertain you, but also help you expand your vocabulary and comprehension. This is a story of mystery, resilience, and the enduring power of human connection. It's a story about finding solace in unexpected places and uncovering secrets that have been hidden for generations. It's a story about the journey home. Prepare to be transported to a remote village shrouded in secrets, where a weary traveler seeks refuge from a storm, only to discover a community grappling with a hidden past. Follow Elias, a solitary wanderer, as he unravels a mystery that will challenge your assumptions and leave you yearning for more. I hope you enjoy this captivating journey as much as I enjoyed bringing it to life. Let's begin. Elias, a man etched with the weariness of countless miles, trudged along a rain-slicked road. His shoulders slumped under the weight of a well-worn backpack, its canvas stained with the grime of countless journeys. His clothes, once a vibrant blue, were now faded and patched, mirroring the frayed edges of his spirit. His face, weathered and lined, told tales of hardship and solitude, a roadmap of unspoken sorrows. His eyes, though tired, held a spark of resilience, a stubborn ember refusing to be extinguished by the relentless onslaught of adversity. He clutched a worn leather-bound journal in his hand, its pages filled with faded ink and half-formed thoughts. He was a wanderer, adrift in a sea of uncertainty, his destination as elusive as the solace he desperately sought. Each step was a testament to his enduring spirit, a silent defiance against the crushing weight of loneliness. The rhythmic crunch of his boots on the wet gravel was the only sound accompanying his solitary pilgrimage. The relentless downpour mirrored the tempest brewing within him, a storm of unspoken regrets and unfulfilled dreams. He sought not a physical destination, but a sanctuary for his troubled soul, a haven from the relentless storm raging within. He walked, not knowing where he was going, but driven by an unwavering hope that a haven awaited him somewhere beyond the horizon. The sky, a bruised purple canvas streaked with angry crimson, threatened to unleash its fury. The wind, a malevolent entity, howled through the barren landscape, whipping Elias's hair across his face. Rain lashed down, transforming the already muddy track into a treacherous mire. Each gust felt like a personal assault, an attempt to break his resolve. He pressed on, driven by a primal need for shelter. The distant rumble of thunder echoed his own inner turmoil, a symphony of fear and desperation. He noticed in the distance a faint glimmer, the lights of a small village nestled between rolling hills, a beacon of potential refuge in the encroaching darkness. Hope, a fragile butterfly, fluttered in his chest. As he drew closer, the village revealed itself to be a cluster of quaint stone houses huddled together for warmth and protection, their windows glowing like welcoming eyes in the stormy night. The air carried the scent of wood smoke and damp earth, a stark contrast to the biting wind and relentless rain. Ancient cobblestone streets, slick with rain, wound their way between the houses, creating a labyrinthine network of narrow passageways. The overall impression was one of quiet isolation, a self-contained world seemingly untouched by the outside world. A sense of both intrigue and apprehension washed over him as he approached the seemingly deserted village. He could hear the wind whistling through gaps in the buildings, a sound almost like mournful whispers. The village appeared both inviting and strangely foreboding, a paradox that heightened his sense of unease. He hesitated for a moment, a flicker of doubt crossing his mind, before the driving rain compelled him onward. As Elias cautiously approached the nearest house, a flickering lamplight spilled onto the cobblestones, revealing a weathered wooden door slightly ajar. Hesitantly, he pushed it open, revealing a dimly lit interior. The air inside was thick with the scent of wood smoke and herbs, a comforting contrast to the chill of the stormy night. An old woman, her face a roadmap of wrinkles etched by time and hardship, sat by a crackling fire, her gaze fixed on a steaming pot hanging over the flames. Her silver hair was pulled back from her face, revealing eyes that held a mixture of weariness and quiet wisdom. Her hands gnarled and knotted like ancient tree roots, moved with a surprising dexterity as she stirred the contents of the pot. She wore a simple woolen dress, its color faded from countless washings, yet meticulously mended. A worn shawl draped over her shoulders added to her aura of quiet dignity. She looked up as Elias entered, her gaze piercing and assessing. There was no immediate warmth in her welcome, but neither was there outright hostility. A silence hung heavy between them, punctuated only by the crackling fire and the relentless drumming of rain against the roof. Finally, in a voice raspy from age, she spoke, her words slow and deliberate. "You are welcome to shelter here, traveler. But speak little and observe much." Her voice was surprisingly strong, belying her frail appearance. The words hung in the air, an unspoken warning. Elias, sensing a current of mystery beneath the surface of her simple words, nodded in acknowledgement. The warmth of the fire was welcome, but the unsettling silence of the village and the enigmatic nature of its lone inhabitant made him uneasy. He was acutely aware that he was an outsider, an unwelcome intrusion in a community that held its secrets close. Emboldened by the old woman's grudging acceptance, Elias ventured out into the village the following morning. The storm had passed, leaving behind a sky washed clean and a world glistening with the freshness of rain. The village, however, remained shrouded in an unnatural stillness. The houses, built of gray stone, stood shoulder to shoulder, their doors and windows seemingly sealed against the world. There was no sign of life, no sounds of children playing, no laughter, no barking dogs, only an oppressive silence that pressed upon him like a physical weight. He walked along the narrow, winding streets, his footsteps echoing eerily in the stillness. The air held a strange stillness, a palpable sense of something hidden, something unspoken. He noticed details he had missed in the darkness, strange symbols carved into the stonework of the houses, cryptic markings that seemed to defy explanation. He saw a small, overgrown garden, its once manicured plants now wild and untamed, a silent testament to a forgotten time. He discovered a well, its water dark and still, reflecting the somber mood of the village. The overall impression was one of abandonment, yet the meticulously maintained houses suggested otherwise. It was a haunting paradox, a place both lifeless and yet strangely alive. A sense of unease gnawed at him. The village felt like a character in a silent movie, its story frozen in time, waiting for someone to unravel its secrets. He felt a growing conviction that the silence wasn't just a symptom of a sleepy village, but a deliberate, almost conspiratorial hush. The village was holding its breath. Back in Ilara's cottage, the aroma of stewed vegetables and herbs filled the air, a stark contrast to the unsettling silence of the village. The fire crackled merrily, casting dancing shadows on the rough-hewn walls. Ilara, her face softened by the firelight, offered Elias a bowl of hearty stew, its warmth spreading through him both physically and emotionally. She ate sparingly, her movements economical and precise, her eyes constantly scanning the room as if expecting an interruption. Elias, noticing her apprehension, ate slowly, trying to create a sense of normalcy, a fragile island of peace in a sea of uncertainty. He attempted conversation, asking simple questions about the village's history, its people, its traditions. Her answers were cryptic, evasive, filled with half-truths and ambiguous phrases. She spoke of a time of prosperity, of a vibrant community, but her voice held a note of sadness, a wistful longing for a past that seemed irrevocably lost. She spoke of a promise, a pact made long ago, a secret that bound the villagers together, a secret that she seemed reluctant, or perhaps unable, to share. Her eyes, though old and tired, held a depth of knowledge, a knowing that spoke of unspoken tragedies and enduring mysteries. The meal was a silent testament to their disparate circumstances, a fragile truce between a wanderer seeking solace and an old woman guarding a closely held secret. As the meal ended, the silence returned, heavier now, laden with unspoken words and unanswered questions. The warmth of the fire and the simple act of sharing a meal offered only temporary respite from the pervasive mystery that clung to the village like a shroud. Elias, though physically nourished, felt a growing unease, a sense that the village's secrets were far more complex and dangerous than he had initially imagined. The next morning dawned gray and overcast, mirroring the persistent unease that settled over Elias. He awoke to the sound of a faint, almost imperceptible humming that seemed to emanate from the very walls of the cottage. Curiosity overriding caution, he explored the small dwelling, his eyes scanning every nook and cranny. Behind a loose stone in the hearth, he discovered a small, intricately carved wooden box. Its surface was covered in strange symbols, unlike anything he had ever seen before. He carefully opened the box, revealing a collection of dried herbs, a tarnished silver locket, and a single faded photograph. The photograph depicted a group of people, their faces obscured by shadows and the passage of time, but their expressions seemed frozen in a mixture of fear and desperation. The locket, when opened, revealed a miniature portrait of a young woman, her eyes filled with an unfathomable sadness. The herbs, when examined, released a faint, almost imperceptible scent that seemed to resonate with the humming sound he had heard earlier. He felt a growing sense of unease, a premonition that he was uncovering something far more significant than he had initially anticipated. That evening, while walking through the village, he noticed strange markings carved into the stone walls of some of the houses, symbols that mirrored those on the wooden box. The markings seemed to tell a story, a narrative etched in stone, whispering secrets to the wind. He felt a growing sense of unease, a sense that he was being watched, observed, his every move scrutinized. The village, once seemingly quiet and peaceful, now felt like a stage set for a play of untold mysteries, a place where shadows held more substance than might. The whispers of the wind seemed to carry more than just the sounds of nature. They carried the echoes of forgotten tragedies, hinting at a truth that remained hidden yet close at hand. The following day, while sketching the strange symbols he'd found, Elias noticed a young man observing him from a distance. The young man, perhaps in his early 20s, was strikingly handsome, yet his face held an expression of perpetual sadness, his eyes downcast, his shoulders slumped. He wore simple, worn clothes, his movements hesitant and uncertain. He seemed to avoid direct eye contact, his gaze constantly shifting, as if he were perpetually searching for something or someone that remained elusive. His hair, dark and unruly, partially obscured his face, adding to his air of mystery. His hands, though strong, were calloused, hinting at a life of manual labor. Despite his apparent reticence, there was a quiet dignity about him, a sense of inner strength that belied his outwardly timid demeanor. He seemed to be perpetually on the edge of something, poised between silence and speech, between revealing a secret and guarding it fiercely. His very presence seemed to radiate a palpable tension, a silent plea for understanding, and yet a fierce determination to keep his secrets buried. Intrigued, Elias approached him cautiously, attempting to engage him in conversation. The young man, however, remained silent, his eyes darting nervously, his body tense and ready to flee at a moment's notice. Elias sensed that this young man held the key to unlocking the village's secrets, but unlocking his heart and mind would be a far more challenging task. Days turned into weeks. Elias, through persistent, patient efforts, gradually built a fragile rapport with the young man. He learned his name was Ronan. Ronan, initially withdrawn and guarded, slowly began to open up, revealing glimpses of the village's hidden history. He spoke of a time of prosperity, a self-sufficient community living in harmony with nature. He spoke of a pact, a sacred promise made generations ago, a promise that bound them to secrecy, a promise that now seemed to weigh heavily on their souls. He described a catastrophic event, a tragedy that had shattered their idyllic existence, forcing them into isolation and secrecy. He spoke of betrayal, of broken trust, of a dark secret that threatened to tear their community apart. His words were fragmented, filled with pauses and silences, as if he were struggling to reconcile the past with the present, to make sense of the pain and loss that had shaped their lives. He spoke of a hidden treasure, not of gold or jewels, but of a legacy, a heritage that they were sworn to protect, a legacy tied to the strange symbols Elias had discovered. Ronan's voice was filled with a profound sadness, a weariness that spoke of years spent carrying the weight of unspoken secrets. He revealed that the symbols were not just markings, but a complex code, a language that held the key to their past, a language that Ronan himself was struggling to decipher. The humming sound Elias had heard in Alara's cottage, Ronan explained, was an ancient song, a melody woven into the very fabric of the village, a melody that held the key to unlocking their hidden past. The weight of the village's secrets, once a burden carried silently, now seemed to be shared, a burden that Elias was now compelled to help Ronan bear. The revelation was both exhilarating and terrifying, a step closer to understanding the mystery, but also a step closer to confronting a truth that might shatter the fragile peace of the village. Ronan led Elias to a secluded grove at the edge of the village, a place shrouded in an almost palpable sense of mystery. Ancient trees, their branches intertwined like gnarled fingers, formed a protective canopy overhead. In the center of the grove stood a weathered stone altar, its surface covered in the same intricate symbols Elias had seen before. Ronan explained that this was the place where the ancient melody was first sung, a place where the village's history was interwoven with the earth itself. He produced a small, intricately carved flute, its surface polished smooth by time and use. He explained that the flute was the key to unlocking the melody, a conduit to the village's lost memories. As he began to play, a haunting melody filled the air, a cascade of notes that seemed to weave themselves into the very fabric of the forest. The melody was both sorrowful and beautiful, a lament for a lost past, but also a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. As Ronan played, Elias felt a strange sensation, a tingling in his fingertips, a sense that he was experiencing something beyond the realm of the physical. He closed his eyes, allowing the melody to wash over him, to transport him to a time long past. He saw visions, fragments of memories, images of a vibrant community, of laughter and joy, but also of fear and betrayal. The melody was a key, unlocking not just the village's history, but also the hidden recesses of his own mind. He felt a sense of connection, a profound understanding of the village's plight, a shared sorrow for a past that could not be reclaimed, but could be honored and remembered. The melody ended, leaving a profound silence in its wake, a silence that felt both peaceful and unsettling. The visions faded, but the echoes of the melody lingered, a testament to the power of music to transcend time and space. Elias felt a profound shift within him, a deeper understanding of the village's plight and a stronger resolve to help Ronan unveil the truth. The melody had stirred something within Elias, a latent ability to perceive the nuances of the ancient code etched into the village's stones. Guided by Ronan, he began to decipher the symbols, translating the cryptic markings into a narrative of betrayal and loss. The story unveiled a tale of a prosperous community suddenly threatened by a powerful external force, seeking to exploit their unique knowledge of herbal remedies and ancient healing techniques. A faction within the village, driven by greed and ambition, had conspired with this outside force, betraying the pact of secrecy and unleashing a wave of destruction upon their community. The resulting tragedy forced the survivors into isolation, their lives forever scarred by the betrayal and the loss of their loved ones. The hidden treasure they discovered was not material wealth, but the knowledge of the ancient healing practices, a legacy they were sworn to protect. The photograph Elias had found depicted the conspirators, their faces now identifiable, their expressions confirming their guilt. The locket contained the portrait of the woman who had been instrumental in preserving their heritage, a woman who had paid the ultimate price for her loyalty. The herbs held the key to a potent healing concoction, a remedy for a disease that had threatened to wipe out their community centuries ago. As the story unfolded, Elias felt a growing sense of responsibility, a profound understanding of the weight of their shared history. The unveiling of the truth was not only a revelation of the past, but also a catalyst for reconciliation and healing. The melody, the symbols, the photograph, and the locket all converged to reveal a story of betrayal, loss, and ultimately, the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The truth, though painful, was a necessary step toward healing the wounds of the past and forging a new path forward. The revelation of the village's history hung heavy in the air, a palpable weight that settled upon Elias and Ronan. The truth, though painful, was a necessary catharsis, a release of the burden they had carried for generations. Ronan, his shoulders visibly lighter, spoke of the need to share their story, to break the cycle of secrecy and isolation. He envisioned a future where their unique knowledge could benefit others, where their healing practices could be used to alleviate suffering, where their history could serve as a cautionary tale against greed and betrayal. Elias, deeply moved by Ronan's newfound hope, offered his unwavering support. He recognized that his initial aim of finding mere shelter had evolved into something much grander, a commitment to helping the villagers reclaim their past and forge a path toward a brighter future. He proposed creating a detailed record of their history, a chronicle that would preserve their legacy and ensure that the sacrifices of their ancestors would not be forgotten. He suggested working with Ronan to translate the remaining symbols, meticulously documenting their findings and creating an accessible record for future generations. This undertaking would not only serve as a testament to their resilience, but also offer a deeper understanding of their ancient healing practices. They began by meticulously documenting the symbols, creating detailed sketches and descriptions of their significance. The process was slow and painstaking, requiring patience, precision, and a shared understanding of the intricate code. They spent hours poring over ancient texts, comparing their findings with historical records and cross-referencing their interpretations. As they worked, a profound bond developed between them, a connection forged in shared hardship and mutual respect. They were not just collaborators, but friends, bound by a common purpose and a shared desire to honor the legacy of their ancestors. The weight of their task was immense, but their determination was unwavering. The village, once a place of silence and secrecy, was slowly transforming into a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of truth and reconciliation. Months passed. Elias, having established a strong connection with the villagers, became an integral part of their community. He helped them adapt their ancient healing practices to modern techniques, ensuring that their knowledge would not only be preserved but also utilized to benefit a wider population. He, along with Ronan, worked tirelessly to compile their findings, translating the intricate symbols and creating a comprehensive record of their history. The resulting manuscript was a powerful narrative, a testament to their resilience, their wisdom, and their unwavering spirit. The book, when published, became a global sensation, captivating readers with its unique blend of history, mystery, and healing. Their story served as a beacon of hope, inspiring people worldwide. The village, once isolated and hidden, became a destination for those seeking knowledge, healing, and a deeper connection with their own heritage. Ronan, initially hesitant about sharing their story, became a revered figure, his wisdom and knowledge sought after by scholars, healers, and spiritual seekers alike. Elias, having found a sense of purpose and belonging, decided to remain in the village, supporting the community and continuing their work of preserving their history and sharing their healing practices with the world. He had arrived as a weary wanderer seeking solace, but he left a transformed man, having found not only shelter, but also a place to call home, a community to cherish, and a legacy to uphold. The storm had passed, and a new dawn had broken over the once silent village, a dawn filled with hope, healing, and the promise of a brighter future.